Okay, just wrapped up Friday's practice, so I'll go ahead and answer any questions that you might have.
Chris, in a week where the weather is projected to be pretty heavy, that's going to obviously damper the deep passing game, usually in a lot of cases. And that's a time where you can, a lot of times, get creative with groups like the tight ends. But with Ian ruled out this week, how do you manage that situation?
Well, I think, the weather is coming in. That's what they're saying. I'm going to kind of rely back on my years in the AFC North and NFC North, and that hopefully that comes into play there. We're looking forward to it. We're going to embrace it. With regards to the passing game and all those things, I think those are things that you just have to evaluate when you get out there. I mean, I don't want to misquote here, but sometimes the weather can be projected for one thing and not be the other, or vice versa. So we'll play it as we see it.
This return weather?
I think it will. I think it will be. There'll be a lot of. I think the wind's supposed to be pretty good too, so that'll be a good challenge for all areas.
Do you have Thomas in particular? I mean, does he kind of have an offshoot of the game plan in case it gets really messy?
I think what you try to do on any of the game plan is like I always look at the weather at the beginning of the week, and as you build your plan appropriate for the team that you're playing, you also begin to put into things based off of the weather, how we might have to adjust, but yet still stay with the same concepts that you want to stay with, and I think that our staff has done that. So, like I say, it's an unknown right now, but we'll see how she plays.
Kind of reminded the players that you're being evaluated for your future and your jobs and all that. So, because you saw what happened last night at the Raiders.
No, 100%. Like, here's what I would say, and my message is this: like, obviously we're in a very tough time, and get that. This is the time of year where you are being evaluated not only by your own front office, by 31 other front offices, depending upon what your contract status is. So how you play in these tough times, I think it says a lot about you. It goes back to what we talked about, the character versus the compromise. And if you can play good football in circumstances that are difficult and have good tape, then that's where I think people say that's the type of player that we want to build our program around. We want him here and those type of things. So I know our record is not what we want it to be, but there is a lot at stake as you look at it. So that's important that we play well.
But having said that, I know last Sunday you were frustrated with the game and the outcome. Did you see any signs of people just collecting a paycheck and taking
No,
it?
I did not. I did not. And the reason I can say that is the tape didn't say that. The next thing is I mean, I know what the final score was, but I think that you could also say that the final score wasn't indicative of how the game was played. And what are we in the fourth quarter there? And we missed a field goal. What would that put us down by? I can't remember, 5 maybe or whatever. Yeah, down by 5. You're still in it. You've gotten the game to the fourth quarter with an opportunity to win it, even as things weren't going your way. So that says a lot about the guys. But to be honest with you, I expect them to play well. You got to be a pro, and it's hard right now. But it's in another way, it's not, because that's your job.
You talked about this being an evaluation period, more or less. How important are wins in this scenario?
Anytime you're keeping score, you want to win. So anytime that the scoreboard's on, I would say that everything's important. And sure, the guys have been doing the process right. I've been proud of them in that area, and I can't fault them. At the same time, just as a coach, and you're pulling for them to see some rewards, and obviously we haven't gotten that. And that's been disappointing. But what are you going to do? You can't compromise about it. You can't sulk about it. You just got to keep going.
Is Burns tracking toward playing?
Burns, he is.
Just to build off that, what progress does he have to make in order to play Sunday?
Burnsy, he was limited today. He was fine, So I think we'll be in good shape there.
Chris, you talk about building game plans around weather. I mean, the Falcons are certainly built to run. The way you guys have run it the last couple weeks, have you seen a particular difference in the way the line has played, knowing there's a little bit more of that in their future?
I think so. I think the line's done a nice job the last 2 weeks in running the football, and so have the backs. And I think there's some confidence there that's taken place. And if you think about it, I mean, the Tampa game was a rainy game, you know, and we ran the football. And last week we ran the football again for 200 yards, 205, or whatever it is. So I like the identity of where that's going. And you know, if they say the weather's going to be like it is, you know, and they run the ball, it could be a short game.
You mentioned you didn't want guys to be casual. How much are you stressing that with 4 games to go now?
Oh, I'm stressing it all the time. I expect you, number one, like I say, be a pro. And with that, when you come into the building, though, let's have some fun while we're doing it. I'm not changing. I haven't changed. I'm blessed that I have the opportunity to coach football. I was just out on the grass for 2 hours, and beautiful sunshine, the whole deal, and you look up and you see the skyline, and there was a moment between plays I said to the good Lord, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And regardless of what the record is, I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I think our guys are the same. You never know what's going to happen on the next play, the next day, or any of those things. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's make sure we do things right, and then when you do that, you know, that's where it goes back to you want to see them rewarded for it, and I think that's what we're trying to get done.
Did you
Last
watch
question.
any of the game last night, how that kind of just got away from?
I didn't. I honestly, I popped it on the iPad there, and I saw one play, and I said, I think I'm going to go to bed, and I shut it down because it was an early morning this morning.
I want to ask you too, will you bring Jordan Matthews up with the tight end situation?
There could always be a possibility. There's always, I think, moves that always have to take place, but I think we're still in a wait and see on that.
And then, yeah, and then just building off Joe again, reports have said that Hayden is likely to go in the IR. Is that true?
I could see it trending that way.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.